Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Chris, the podcast on which I answer your questions and concerns and talk about the topics that you want me to talk about, as well as just generally share my life with you. So I don't know. Sorry if that's a really bad start to today's episode. I tried to mix up the intro a little bit and I kind of botched it. So if you got anything you want me to talk about, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And if not, let's just move past that one. I'm going to start out by saying that I make one every single day, though I'm not quite sure about how it's going to go this summer because I'm going to be traveling soon. And that's actually what I wanted to talk about today because I got a notification on my phone this morning. I got a notification and an email, actually, both telling me that there is exactly a week until my plane leaves. So that's really exciting and also very scary because it's just a week, like it's right around the corner. To a lot of people, it might not seem that scary. I mean, it's just an airplane, right? Well, I've never flown on my own before. And it's actually pretty rare that I've flown at all. I haven't been in an airplane in 5 years, if not more. I actually think it's more than that. And so, yeah, it's just been a while. Now that I think about it, 4 years, that can't be. It's probably more like 7 years. Anyway, I mixed up a bunch of numbers there, but I think it's more like 7 years, actually. It's been a long time. And I've never flown on my own. And so it's like, I'm kind of worried that I'm going to miss something, especially because I'm going to be gone for not just, a week or something. I'm going to be gone for 2 months. So if I forget to bring a charger, I'm going to have to buy one when I get there. I can't just be like, oh, okay, I won't charge this item or whatever. It depends on what it is, of course, but I need to bring my work with me so that I can do all of my work stuff while my girlfriend is at work too. And I think that's, sure, I would have wanted it differently. I would have liked us to be able to spend more time together, in the sense that I would have liked it if she wasn't off so late. But she works a full-time job, and that's just something I have to accept. We've been talking about how we'll eat in the car, and we'll, like for lunch, she'll come out and we'll eat in the car. Maybe we'll even like afterwards we'll go for dinner somewhere or go to a park or whatever. Like, that's a benefit of it being summer, is that the sun goes down really late and it's warm and it's nice. Like, there's nothing preventing us from spending the evening somewhere outside. Now, if I had visited in winter, we'd have to go home, and that's no fun. So, I mean, sure, it would have been great if we could have had a bit more time off. A bit more time together, that she could have had a bit more time off. But, it is what it is, right? We're just gonna have to make the most of what we've got. And I don't necessarily see anything bad in that. I feel like that's a good way to live life, to make the most of what you have. Because, we've talked about it, that she's gonna pick me up before work, and so we'll drive together. And, maybe if I can convince her to actually get out of bed, she could wake up, we could go somewhere to eat breakfast and then go to work or whatever else. Like, we've got options, right? And so, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really enjoyable. And I'm going to get to spend a lot of time working too. And I think we're slowly determining that I'm a bit of a workaholic. I like to be busy with different projects, and if I'm not engaged in several projects, I get depressed. Like, I do. When I'm not actively engaging with multiple things at once, I get kind of depressed. But when I'm engaging with multiple things at once, I complete them. I decided to start a business while I was doing my exam project. My exam project ended up getting better because of it. And it's all because of this, like, inertia thing. I struggle with inertia. if I don't get started and keep going, okay, I'm gonna try to rephrase that. If I don't manage to keep going and I have to restart, it's just not going to happen. I need to keep working. And that's why my breaks involve, yes, video games. But even when I'm playing video games, I'll still be scribbling on the side or tapping out whenever I die in order to do something. And there is so much work that can be done in between the enjoyment in order to keep the working spirit alive. You know, something strange actually that just crossed my mind was that this podcast is called Coffee with Chris because I make my coffee and then drink it here. But with time, I've started drinking less and less while doing the podcast. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons that I feel like the episodes are just too long now. Because back then, I would drink and it would take some time and I would enjoy the process and all of that. You know what? I don't really know why I'm so all over the place today. I'm gonna have to apologize for that. I guess it's just one of those days where it's a little there, a little here. And yeah. Back to the working stuff though. Back to being a bit of a workaholic. I'm not actually worried that I'm gonna end up stressed. I'm worried that I'm gonna end up not working enough. I don't know. I guess that's, yeah. A couple of you are probably thinking, doesn't that mean? And yeah, it does. But it's more so, I've got a lot of work that I want to do. And I'm capable of doing it. So, a half a year ago, not even actually. So I started in February, which means that it's 4.5 months. Okay, almost 5 months ago. I started school as a multimedia designer. And now I am actually creating stuff. I'm using these things in my day-to-day life. It's pretty impressive. And I think becoming a multimedia designer has just further turned me into a workaholic. Because now I can do mood boards and wireframes and style tiles and mockups and, you know, drag and drop prototyping, I guess. I'm working with so many different tools at this point, and I'm actually comfortable with it. I'm much more comfortable with what I'm making right now with the wireframes and stuff. Because it looks like an app, right? And I get to see the minute details without having to build the actual app in order to see the details. So that's honestly what I'm going to go back to doing after this podcast probably, is to work a bit more on the wireframe, because I finished the low fidelity wireframes yesterday and started working on the high fidelity ones. And I think I've got things figured out. I'm reading up on material design guidelines because I figure that that's an important thing to have in mind as well. Again, I'm going to be very competitive compared to my peers. Primarily because well, some of them are creative, but they're not productive. And I'm not as creative as everyone, but I'm more productive. This is going to be great. I actually have a last business kind of thing that I need to do during summer. So I've got the app, I've got the store, and then I've actually got these flashcards that we talked about in class. So essentially, if I do some data collecting, then I ask them to sit down with me and we kind of build something up together. We build a design, and then I go back to doing all the work, and then we get them printed. It's gonna be pretty great, I think. Yeah, I'm excited to do it, but I just don't know where to fit it in. So the store and the app definitely come first. So I'm gonna keep working on that. I'm gonna go back to the app right after this one, and then, you know, just gonna keep working. I'll probably listen to some music, drink my coffee. Yeah. All those kinds of things. I'm actually smiling at the thought of working. Sometimes you just gotta find your passion. And I think I've found mine. I hope you find yours too. Anyway, this is it for me for today. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye now.